Okay. Give it a few moments for some people to jump in. What's up, Nikki? All right, so I'm officially live on the socials. Figured it'd kind of be a slow week because of Christmas, of course. What's up, Mad Maverick and Sailor Brown in the house on the Discord? So we got earnings. The only two companies reporting earnings this week. So definitely not much to choose from. LMNR, Limoneira Company or Corporation, and Good Times Restaurants, which is a penny stock. You'd see the price action from today, but both these stocks just trading on low volume, basically. What's up, Paul C? Good to see you. It's going to be the last earnings stream before Christmas. Tomorrow's a half day. Markets close at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Now, to my understanding, is there still going to be extended hours, like from 1 to 5 tomorrow? I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, there will be.
Okay, nice. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate it. All right, so yeah, markets close half day tomorrow, regular session, but then 1 to 5 will be the post market tomorrow, and then of course we're closed on Christmas. Friday is a full day. But here's, like I say, the only two companies reporting this week was LMNR. They're supposed to report at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. Another few minutes here. Forecast EPS negative 0.17. Forecast revenue 37 million. They're trading like right on their anchored VWAP, just below 15 bucks. Let's see, they closed the regular session at $13.83. They were down about 4% on the day. But trading on low volume, so price action's a little sketchy. Go to chart view here. So it might not be too exciting, but after we get the earnings data for these two companies, I figured maybe I'd go over some spread trades that I've been trading lately. And 5 winning weeks in a row. Every week on Tuesday, I alert a spread trade to the Discord. And we're on a bit of a hot streak right now. 5 winning weeks in a row. So maybe I'll go over some of those towards the end of the stream, because I have a feeling LMNR and GTIM, just good times. We're probably not going to see much action on these, but you never know. We'll see. Going into the earning. Well, first of all, LMNR. Who are they? They're food and tobacco industry is the industry they're in. So they're primarily an agribusiness company. Operations consist of fruit production, sales and marketing, rental operations, real estate and capital investment activities. Okay. Operates in 3 business divisions: agribusiness, rental operations, and real estate development. Interesting. They're located in the U.S., California. That's let's look at the daily chart on this. This is the stock on the left side of my screen here. And they do pay a small dividend. So EPS is negative. Their dividend's 2.16% according to Webull. Only a $16 million float, so pretty low float. Wonder if they've done any reverse splits in the past. Let me see. I'm not seeing any. Not seeing any. So they just got a super low float. But looks like they've been paying the dividend for a long time now. Let me go weekly chart. Let's see. Let me go back. Reset this thing. Okay, it's 404. Yeah, they were trading up close to 30 bucks about a year ago. So for the past year, they've just kind of fallen off a cliff, right? Lost 50% of their value as far as the stock price goes. See if they're a profitable company or not. Not as of late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 back-to-back quarters in the red. So that's a little concerning for me on the fundamental side. Annual basis looks a little better. Abdare on X says GTIM. Yep, got them right here on the right side of my screen. It's a penny stock. I'm going to go back intraday. We should be getting the earnings data on both these companies at the same time. Like I said, I'm not expecting much from these two stocks. I honestly never really even heard of them before today. So, but GTIM, yeah, we can look at them real quick. PE ratio is positive. EPS is positive. Interesting. No dividend, only a 7 million float. Okay, we go weekly chart on them. We'll go daily chart. Okay, yeah, their price has been all over the place. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I don't really trade penny stocks too much. Maybe a day trade, you know, not even a day trade, like a scalp, get in and out quickly. But GTIM, they're in hotels and entertainment. They're located in Colorado. Good Times Restaurants is an operator of Bad Daddy's Burger Bar and Good Times Burgers and Frozen Custard. So the company owns and operates and licenses 40 Bad Daddy's Burger Bar restaurants. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar is a full-service casual dining small box concept. Okay, interesting. Let's see if what condition their company's in. Yeah, it looks like they made a little bit of money. This is fiscal year view. Let's go quarterly. Yeah, I guess they're hit or miss. Some quarters they lose money, some quarters they make money. Same thing with the annual. It's like every other year they lose money, and every other year they make money. Debt to assets 62%. Yeah. All right, let me go back to the charts here because let me go to TradingView. Yeah, I just don't think we're gonna see much here, folks. So I might just jump into the recent spread trades that I've been doing. But both these companies are supposed to report. Oh, okay, Abdare on X, GTIM. You bought it at $1.25. Okay. Well, looks like, I mean, let me look at the order book on this thing. Yeah, I mean, it's all over the place. So after hours saying it's at $1.43, but look at the spread between the bid and the ask. The bid's at 1.25, ask is at 1.45. Let me see if there's any data out. There's just hardly anything on the order book right now. Okay. Okay, GTIM. Okay, yep, up 10%. They made a net income of $1 million. That's for the fiscal year. But Q4 net loss was $3,000. So kind of low numbers here, but not really a big business. Same store sales down mid-single digits. But yeah, not too exciting with this one. I mean, it is up 10%, but like I say, sometimes the bid and ask on Webull isn't as accurate as it could be. But we'll see if this holds up for my friend Abdare on X. Got into GTIM at $1.25. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that that price. You got it. Looks like some support down here in the 120s. So, but again, it's penny stocks. You got to be careful with these. Like I say, I don't really trade penny stocks much, but let's see what else I can find on it. So they lost $3,000 for the quarter, but they made $1 million in net positive net income for the whole year. Let me go to their investor relations page and see if they got anything on there. take a look. Okay. We'll go over to LMNR here in a second. We got about 100 people tuning in today. I thought today would be pretty dead. All right, let's scroll down. Here, I'll post this link in the comments. Anyone wants to take a deeper dive into their earnings. And it looks like they got a PDF document right here. Here, I'll post it in the Discord too. If anyone wants to follow along, but here's the press release. And looks like it's a 8-page PDF document. You can read some of the highlights. So, all right, total revenues decreased 0.5% to 141.6 million for the year compared to the previous year. Total restaurant sales for Good Times restaurants were 39.2 million for the year, and for Bad Daddy restaurants were 101.4 million for the year. So obviously, Bad Daddy restaurants, that section of their business is the more is the bigger revenue generator. Total restaurant sales for company-owned restaurants decreased 2 million. Okay, and same-store sales for Good Times restaurants decreased 6.6% for the fourth quarter. Net loss attributable to common shareholders was $3,000 for the fourth quarter. Net income, that's what we were talking about before, attributable to common shareholders was $1 million for the fiscal year. All right, let's go over some of this commentary. This is a GTIM, a penny stock. They say, we have adjusted our advertising and promotional strategies at both brands and will continue to fine-tune those to better reach our guests and drive improved traffic to our restaurants. Most notably, we have included streaming video advertising in the media mix at both brands and launched a new branding campaign for Good Times, Colorado native burgers, which highlights the brand's Colorado roots. In the second quarter, we are kicking off campaigns featuring both value-oriented items and items unique to Good Times that support our Colorado heritage and also have broad appeal among our current and future guests. At Bad Daddy's, here, let me move this over so we can still see the price on the right. Go back intraday real quick. There we go. Okay, so the price came right back down. Now it's red. So, yeah, I mean, trading on low volume. That's how the price is going to act. But let me finish reading these statements here. At Bad Daddy's in fiscal 2026, second quarter, we will be featuring a Mediterranean Power Bowl, expanding upon our already popular salad lineup, complemented by 2 separate regional burger specials. Also, beginning in March, we will be adopting a Burger of the Month platform I'm hungry now. I want a burger. To focus more heavily on familiar items with broad customer appeal that are not part of our core menu. And the guy's name is Mr. Zink, by the way. He says, I'm optimistic that fiscal 2026 will see improved performance for both brands after a difficult 2025. So at least they're being transparent here, saying 2025 was difficult. Our leadership teams are committed to delivering better results that we believe starts with understanding our guests' interactions with our brands while taking swift action to meet their changing needs and communicate the superior food, beverage, and service that both of our brands provide compared to our competitors. And okay, right here, this is the info for the conference call. So GTIM is going to do their earnings web call today at 5 p.m. Eastern. So you got about 45 minutes for that. And here, that link on the bottom of my screen, that's how you're going to get there to the earnings web call, okay? So yeah, that's kind of sums up GTIM. Again, a penny stock. Let's look at LMNR real quick. Okay, LMNR. They're also, okay. Yeah, their price action looks really funky as well. But LMNR looks like they beat revenue, but they did miss EPS. Let's share this with everybody. This is on the left here. So the expected number for revenue was 35.35 million. they reported 42.82 million. So they beat revenue by 21%. They did miss EPS big time. The forecast negative 0.11. They reported negative 0.49. So big miss on the EPS, but a nice beat on the revenue. This is LMNR. Move this back over. Let's find out when they're going to do their earnings web call. Again, just a very, very light week for earnings this week, so not really a lot going on. But let's see when LMNR is going to do their earnings web call. And then I'd like to go over some recent spread trades that I've been trading with the Discord. We've had several back-to-back winners here to close out the year. Let's go to LMNR, see when they're going to do their call. Okay, here's their fourth quarter 2025 earnings call. Here's the presentation as well. Just take a look at their their earnings presentation is 24-page long. So we could probably go through this a little bit. Again, LMNR, they're in the food and tobacco, and they do real estate and capital investment activities as well. Let's go back here. Okay, $1.7 million from water pumping rights sold, $5.2 million from fallowing program, $40 million from assets identified for sale, $50 million to $70 million from water monetization. That's the Santa Paula Basin and Colorado River. $155 million from harvest at Limoneira. $3 billion plus potential from 3,000 developable acres. Tongue twister. All right, so growing agricultural current income, expanding avocado production, 2,000 acres by 2027, lemon packing growth, return to Sunkiss, organic recycling, Agromin partnership. Interesting. I didn't have any idea this company even existed. But they're going to do their call, their earnings web call at, let me get out of this document real quick. Let's see right here. LMNR, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So their earnings web call is going to start in 12 minutes. And I'll post this link in the comments for everyone if anyone's interested. You know, not sure how big of a following they have, but nonetheless, I'll post it in there. So this link will take you to the LMNR earnings web call. But yeah, it's almost 4:20. Again, I figured today'd be pretty slow day. But I'd like to go over some of my recent spread trades. Like I said, we got 5 winning weeks in a row, 4 or 5. We'll check it out right now. So this is what the Discord looks like here. And let me just scroll up. I've been selling some covered calls lately and some cash secured puts. Most recent spread was this bull put spread. Excuse me. It was a put credit spread on bull. And at the time I opened the trade, bull was trading at $8.56 per share. I felt like there's some decent support around $8.50 around there. So I opened the slang, term is a bull put spread. That's what Option Strat calls it. The technical term is a vertical put credit spread. Okay. And even though we're trading puts, it's technically a neutral to bullish position because we're receiving credit on the trade. So technically we're short the put. So we're doing the opposite of what a put is intended. Anytime you're short, you're kind of doing the opposite, right? So I've formed a 50-cent wide spread, which means to trade this spread, you do need a margin account to trade spreads, by the way. But to trade the spread, you would need $50 in buying power. So it's a trade that a lot of people can participate in. It's not like it's a super duper expensive spread trade. 10 wide, 20 wide. You need $1,000 or $2,000 respectively to trade the bigger spreads. But 50-cent wide, just $50 in buying power. And these spreads paid $19 each. So that's a decent return on capital. Be the $19, and I did 10 of these. Okay, it was only 50-cent wide, so I usually allocate 500 or $1,000 to each one of my spread trades. This one was only 500 I put towards it. So that's 10 spreads at 50-cent wide, which is $50, right? So that's how you know how much buying power you're going to need. If you're going to do 10 contracts on 50-cent wide, it's $500 in buying power. But if you get $19 a spread, divide that by the buying power needed, this spread trade paid 38% return on capital. It's pretty good, right? Now, I usually, on my spread trades, specifically credit spreads, I like to target at least 20% or more on my credit spread trades. So this spread trade paid almost double that, right? So I was very happy with that. And let's see what happens. So I opened that trade up on December 16th, which was last Tuesday, a week ago from today. And let's fast forward. This was yesterday. Like I said, I had 10 of these spreads. So not even a whole week hold. Basically held it until yesterday. And had almost 80% on the table today. Or I'm sorry, yesterday. So went ahead and pocketed that, and looks like a bunch of people took the trade with me. And that was the most recent spread trade. It was a put credit spread, a vertical put credit spread on bull. And if you've never traded spreads before and you've been interested in trading spreads, well, join the Discord. I can teach you how to do it. It's no problem. Matter of fact, let me put this back up here. Actually, no, we're good. I wanna put my name back on the screen here. The graphics blocking it. That's okay. So yeah, if you've been interested in how to, you want to know how to trade spreads, check the links in the description. You can join the Discord for free, and we can talk about it a little bit. So that was the bull trade. Nice gain yesterday, almost 80%. So the expiration date was this Friday, December 26th. So you got almost 80% on the table yesterday. Why would I hold it to Friday for the remaining 20%? I'd rather just take my risk off the table and pocket that profit, right? And let's see, the spread trade I did before that was Disney. I didn't make a ton of money on this one, but it was profitable. So I do spreads on blue chip, companies as well: Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia. This one was on Disney. I don't know. Is Disney still considered a blue chip? I think so, right? So Disney, when I opened this spread trade, again, this was a vertical put credit spread or a bull put spread. It's like easier to understand that way, I suppose. But these trades, you can be neutral on the stock and still win these trades. You don't need a directional move to win these credit spread trades. So that's why I like trading them a lot, because, instead of trying to trade like actual price action where you're biased, I can just pick out a level on the bigger time frames that holds a lot of weight, where Lots of volume maybe came in at that level. And I really don't care about, you know, the stock going up and down and all this, all that. As long as my spread stays on, as long as the underlying stock stays on the right side of my spread, it's a winning trade. So our success rate or our win rate, if you're trading spreads correctly, your win rate should be like 80, 90%. Even 70% would be a good win rate, but my win rate's up there around 80, around 80 something. But you know, we have a lot of fun trading these, and this was so Disney was trading at $107.37 a share when I opened it, and I felt like around 104, 105 was a good level of demand, if you will. And I mean, shoot, what's Disney trading at now? Yeah, they're up here at 113. But you know, they were trading at 107 when I opened this. I just want the price of Disney to stay above my spread. That's all I care about. So I thought there was some support around 105-ish area at the time when I opened the trade, based on levels on the bigger time frame that hold more weight than the smaller time frames, right? This was a $1 wide spread. So on the $1 wide spread, you need $100 in buying power to trade one of these. But you collect $28 per spread. Don't even need the calculator. If you're putting up $100 in buying power, that pays 28% return on capital. So again, it meets my, I like to get at least 20% on these, like when I open it. And this one paid 28%. And I don't, you know, I'd probably take early profit on these more times than I hold to expiration. But I did a few of these, and you see that was on 12/9. And okay, yeah, the very next day, because you can see the amount of time I had in. There was I opened it on 12/9, and the expiration date on the contract was December 19. So this had 10 days of time on it. And the very next day, I had 41% on the table. So I took it. I didn't make a ton of money, but easy trade, you know. Not a lot of emotion involved, and we just wanted Disney to stay above a certain level. I mean, it could even pull back against us a little bit, and the trade would have still been okay. Because if Disney's trading at 107.37 when I opened it, and my spread is down here at 105, you know, I had $2.37 in cushion on this thing, which means Disney could have pulled back to 106, even 105 and some change. As long as the price of Disney is above my spread, which the leg I sold short was the 105. It's a winning trade. And to add an extra layer on it, how you figure out your break even on these credit spread trades is you take the strike that you sold to open, and on a credit spread, it's always going to be the strike that's closer to the underlying stock price. So if Disney's trading at 107.37, out of the 105 strike and the 104 strike, which one's closer to the money? It's 105, right? So to figure out your break even, you take the one you sold short, the 105 put, and you subtract the credit you received. So 105 minus 0.28, that will give you your break even at expiration of 104.72. So there is a sliver of profit that you can still make even if Disney is below 105. So between 104.72 and 105, that's the little, you can see it on the diagram here, that's the little sliver of profit right here, where as long as Disney's above your break even at expiration, it can still be a profitable trade. Now, to get the max gain of $28 a spread, it would need to be above 105. That's where you see this green line here. And as soon as it pulls off to the right, that's where your max gain is. You can't make any more than that, than the plateau area. But between your break even and the strike you sold short, there is still some profit to be had there. So Just kind of give people an idea on like what needs to happen with the underlying price for you to be able to make money on these things, right? So that was the Disney spread, and then is this another? Yeah, this is another spread trade on Mara. All these spread trades were done this month. I alert a spread trade to the Discord members once a week, sometimes twice a week, but these are all from this month. Here's a Mara spread trade from earlier this month. Let's look at the metrics of this one. At the time, Mara was trading at 12.29. And I know Mara's pulled back since I did this spread trade, but we did make money on this. Yeah, because Mara's at 9, just below 10 right now. But when we opened up this spread trade, is right here when Mara was making this little peak up here. So we caught it at the right time, and it was a sweet trade. We strategically entered this, and then when it got rejected off the EMAs, we got out and took profit. But I'll show you what happened. So at the time, Mara was trading at 12.29, and it looked like we were going to get some bullish continuation. So I sold the $12 strike, and then I bought the $11 put strike. So on these spreads, you do it on the same trade ticket. One of the legs is sell to open, one's buy to open. That's how you form the spread. So I sold to open the 12 put, bought to open the 11 put, again formed a $1 wide spread, $100 in buying power for each spread. And I don't even need the calculator, because if you receive a $34 credit for each spread, then you know that's a 34% potential return on capital on your buying power, right? And same thing with this. Since I received a $34 credit on each spread, the break even at expiration would be the strike you sold to open, which is the $12 put, minus the credit you received, which would give you your break even at expiration of 11.66. Now let's see what happened to the trade. So this was alerted on December 2nd. And then let me just scroll down, because I know I took profit on that. Oh yeah, right here. Okay. So I held it from December 2nd to December 9th. So that was only a 1 week hold, and it was a great trade. And like I say, I know Mara's been selling off again, but look where we exited. It's right on this candle right here. Here, I'll draw a box around it. Get my rectangle tool. This candle right here, kind of a bearish candle. Rejection off the EMA, right? So we entered this Mara trade on December 2nd, which was right here. It price ends up here. I see the rejection off the EMA, and boom, we had good profit on the table. So I was almost 53%. So gonna pocket that, no problem. And good thing we did, because look, it's sold off again. It's obviously trading with the Bitcoin price action. Mara's kind of at the mercy of Bitcoin price action. Let's look at a few more. A little after 4:30 now. These are just my other trades. I've run a lot of the wheel strategy. What was the trade before that? Oh yeah, it was a NVIDIA spread. This was a fun trade. At the time, NVIDIA was trading at 176.22 per share. I thought there was good demand, support around the 170. This was a $2.50 widespread. This is good. We're going over different widths. Usually I'll keep a tighter width if the volatility is a little higher, because your long leg will help hold the value of the spread a lot better than a much wider spread. I'll widen my spreads out when volatility comes down, but when volatility goes up, I'll typically make my spreads tighter, because that way I can just stop out of the short leg, and I can usually sometimes make some really good money on the long leg, and you're kind of turning a losing spread trade into a winner if you know how to manage it correctly. So this one was $2.50 wide. NVIDIA was trading at 176.22 at the time when I opened it. This one paid $64 a spread, so this was nice. I think I did 4 of these when I opened it. But 250 wide, and if you can make 64 bucks a spread on that, 64 divided by 250 in buying power, this one paid 25% return on capital. And this was a fun trade. So like I say, I do these spreads on, you know, the Mag 7 stocks and the stocks I know that have good liquidity and volume, and we know it's easy to get in and out of these things when we want to. This one had a 70% chance of profit. It ended up being a winner. But the setup of this trade, so NVIDIA trading at around 176 when I opened it, my break-even expiration on this trade was 169.36. And how was that calculated? Well, once again, on a credit spread, to find out what your break-even expiration is, you take the strike you sold to open, which on a credit spread is always going to be closer to the underlying stock price, and then you subtract that strike price from the credit you received. So the 170 strike minus the 0.64 credit, that's how you get your break-even expiration, 169.36. So in theory, I just needed NVIDIA to stay above 169.36, and this is a winning trade. It was a winning trade, because then we can fast forward. So I opened that up on 11:25, and let me see what ended up happening here. So I alerted the group the very next day that there was profit on the table. I said it's okay to take profit when you see fit. Personally, I would like to get 50% or more on it, and I told them I had 2 spreads. And then looks like later on that day, because I told them that in the morning, again, not financial advice, but I'm just letting them know what I'm doing with my position. And later that afternoon, I had close enough to 50% where I felt good about it. And this was only a 1-day hold. So again, you know, I'm not getting rich overnight, but this is like steady income coming in, you know. And these are just kind of all my other trades, because I do a lot more other trades outside of spread trades. Like here's some call. I was short the calls on this one on UMAC, pulled in 144 bucks on that one. And this was a hedge trade on SPY. And yeah, you know, we have a lot of fun, and you know, I've had a lot of winning spread trades in a row, so it's nice to end the year on a nice winning streak. But let me go back to the sticks. I just want to see if these 2 stocks for the earnings ended up doing anything, because I figured it'd be slow going. There just wasn't anyone really worth noting that were reporting earnings, and yeah, these stocks are just nothing going on there. But yeah, it's a little after 4:30. I do want to mention, if you're looking for free stuff, and you'd like to get 4 high probabilities trade setups sent to your inbox every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, check that first link in the description. It's free. Don't gotta pay for anything, and I'm all about giving away free stuff. And also, if you're looking for a new community, check out our Discord. We're very supportive, lots of education going on in there, and of course the alerts, because we're all here to make money. Yeah, that's really all I got for today. Again, tomorrow's a half day, Christmas Eve. Markets close at 1 p.m. Eastern. There is a post-market session tomorrow from 1 Eastern to 5 Eastern, I believe. And then, of course, the markets are closed all day on Christmas Day. And on Friday, we'll be back to business as usual with a full regular session on Friday. But yeah, other than that, I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope everyone has a great Christmas with family and friends. And until next time, I'll see you in the very next video. Cheers.